Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Hello,
No,
everyone.
no, I did cook for 3 days
Mhm.
straight and wanted a hamburger after all of that. And that's the one
Because
thing I just cannot cook. I just,
sometimes you just want yumminess. Like I want taco hell because I just want to give myself diarrhea apparently. So it's just the mouth wants what it wants.
it
Sometimes the
was,
colon doesn't always want what your mouth wants, but
it's like, what did you just send down here?
did I hear?
It's on you. I just want
Oh,
you to know that.
taco hell. Oh, that's what you're gonna try to do.
Uh-huh.
Let's see how that works out. Yeah. So, so what all, you cooked for 3 days? What all did you cook?
I made the worst chicken you've ever had
Oh
in
God.
your entire life because I used breadcrumbs
Mm-hmm.
because I was frying it in the air fryer because I don't know how to fry chicken because I missed that part of the African American
That's
experience.
okay.
So I used breadcrumbs and they were the worst. And so I made it again the next day with just regular flour like you're supposed to. It actually turned out good. And then I made meatloaf and then I tried to make smothered pork, but that didn't work either because I didn't flour it.
Oh, and you got to flour it and
Because I went by the little book.
yeah.
You can't always go by the book, but I went by the little book. It said nothing about flour. Either it did and I didn't see it, or I just wasn't paying attention. But it did. I don't think it said it.
So you can't even blame yourself. It's like,
And it tastes fine. It just wasn't smothered pork chop.
yeah.
It was pork chop and juice. That's pretty much what it was.
My friend, and hey y'all, I see y'all coming in. Y'all know how we do. We just chit and chat for a few minutes to let everybody enter the room. My friend convinced me to get Patti LaBelle's cookbook and then one of Paula Dean's cookbook, even though we wouldn't piss on Paula Dean's eyebrows if her fridge were on fire. But she's like, ignore the racism, ignore the fact that she stole all her recipes from colored folks, but the recipes she stole were good. Just go with it. And she did not lie. I made some salmon croquettes out of Patty's cookbook that were absolute fire. Like they slapped. And then I made these like fried shrimp out of Paula's and this like fried cabbage. I had the worst gas. But it was so good.
Cabbage will do that.
Then over the week, speaking of cabbage, like has any like, and you guys in the chat tell me, and Johnny tell me, have you ever had Basque food? Gone to like a Basque restaurant?
I've never heard of that.
Like, so apparently like Basque people are like from this particular region in Europe that's sandwiched between like France and somewhere else. And they've developed like their own food culture. So it's part French cuisine, part like Mediterranean, if you will. And so you get fed, like you get your entree, but then you get fed like rounds of food before you get your entree. So they're bringing like salad, like 8 tons of salads, beans, soup with like pinto beans that are like really good. The soup that's like full of cabbage. So if you notice, like all of the food that you eat is all gassy food, but you don't realize it until like your entree arrives. And you're like, I just ate beans, lettuce, cabbage, tongue, cabbage, beans. It was good going down. I don't know. Like guys, yes, there's a huge Basque population in Spain. Yes, I did a lot of research after. I mean, I had a lot of time since I couldn't sleep that night because my tummy was rumbling, but it was very good. Very, very good.
I went to one place it's like we ordered one thing, but they kept bringing stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like the cabbage roll with the ground beef and rice inside.
Mm-hmm.
They brought some kind of soup and they brought some kind of bread with some other little thing. And I'm like, this ain't what I hope I ain't paying for this. Was the experience though. Okay, I'll take it then.
It was very.
Kid ain't turning down no food, so go ahead.
It was amazing. Very, very. And then I came home and made Basque cabbage soup. And I've been eating that for days, wondering.
Punishment.
Mine didn't make me poots because I worked around that. I was like, let's not give yourself the poots for a few days. But, Johnny, how's it been? Long time no see. How's everything going?
I don't change other than this scraggly ass beard. I have to let it grow before I cut it because I can't cut it when it's short. I have to cut it when it's like this, and it's driving me crazy. I was in here itching and scratching like I had polio or something. Like I needed a smallpox vaccine. It was horrible. I hate it.
Sadly, I have the same issue with my beard. I have to let it kind of get a certain length, and then I gotta do the whole exfoliation. Then otherwise, you don't get razor bumps for days. And it's like I'm already trying to hide the fact that I got a beard. Let's just have razor bumps where my beard was to make it extra obvious.
Ma'am, you need to line it
up. Ma'am, your hair follicles from your beard are showing out. So disrespectful. Everybody in the chat, I hope I'm like looking at the chat like y'all can see me. I look at the computer. Hi, everybody in the chat. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for a lot of people who reached out and asked where I was. I was sick for about a week and a half, and then I hurt my back. So that's not fun. At least I can laugh at it. At least when my back went out, I did not pee my pants because I really, really thought that it hurt that bad. I really thought it was just the bladder was just gonna release. So nice to know that all of my my body responded, at least my bladder responded well. And then I had travel for work. So sorry guys. But thank you guys for the prayers. I'm starting to feel better. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. Sorry, didn't mean to go MIA, but I have to take my own advice that I give all of you guys every week, which take care of yourself first. Then and only then can you take care of others. So
I told everybody he was traveling.
No, I wasn't. I only traveled last week for a couple days for work. But before that, I was down. And no, it wasn't the Rona. I have autoimmune disease. So one little small cough, or actually it wasn't a cough, one little small thing makes 18 other things blow up. So,
pink eye across the room. Now you got it.
Mm-hmm. They'll have pink eye. All of them having to have like both my eyes taken out. But I am better. Only reason I sound like this is because it's ragweed season where Johnny and I are. So, and I like to sit out because it's not humid. So I like to sit outside because I'm the weird one where like everybody likes to sit outside virtually naked in the summer. As soon as it's like no longer humid, I start stripping off clothes and running outside.
I did that 3 times today and stayed out there as long as I could. I got the itchies in the eyes, but it's okay. It's cool outside. I'm gonna take it.
My whole soak is on fire right now. My nose is stuffy. My throat is burning. But I was like, but it was still worth being outside for 45 minutes. So, oh, geez. So it's good to see everyone. We're going to go ahead and kick off with our horoscopes. I promised last time that I would start with Capricorns because Capricorns always have to wait until the end. And then by the time we get to them, we done run out of jokes or we've got too many jokes and we've got big old fits. So we're going to actually start with Capricorn this time. Johnny, tell us what you're going to read on, and then I'll tell everybody what I'm going to read on for each horoscope.
I'm just going to pull a card from the Oracle and pull one from the Tarot and see what we get for Corn of the Capris.
And I'm going to talk about, why be an energy healer if you can't teach people about energy? So we'll talk about some chakra energy and just overall energy for you guys. So let's get into Capricorn. How y'all doing? Where are you at? Raise your hands in the chat, all the Capricorns.
So I wrote down song lyrics. So this is a lyrical oracle. The song is, well, the lyrics are, don't mean to be confrontational, but lately we haven't made time to be conversational.
Ooh, I love that.
So right now, there may be a little too much going on in your life. You might need to slow down, smell the roses, catch your breath. The 9 of Wands is about a person who's a bit tired because they have been at it, burning the midnight oil, as they say. So maybe just, not that you have to stop, because maybe you're making progress on something. Here with the 9 of Cups, there is something you desired and something you've been working at, and you're almost there. The 9 of Wands is always a reminder to keep going because you're almost complete. But as the song said, don't mean to be confrontational. But lately we haven't made time to be conversational. So we do need to slow down and smell the roses too. Catch your breath.
While you're slowing down, I want you to focus on what part of your inner child needs some healing. While you're the best thing to do when you slow down is heal and work on yourself. Use this as an opportunity to open your heart chakra. There is some inner child work that you need to address. I think the conversation, you don't need to be confrontational. The conversation you may need to actually have is with yourself and with your inner child. Because there's some grief you need to shed. There are some things that you haven't allowed yourself to grieve over. Perfect example, I was sitting one day and I couldn't understand why I'm very hard on myself in new situations. Like if I don't have it perfect, I just have this horrible inner monologue that plays in my mind. And it wasn't until doing my own inner child work that I realized that in the first grade, I had started a brand new school, brand new babysitter, all the same day. A little badass or snaggletooth ass churn who was supposed to meet me in front of the school, knowing I was young in the first grade. I think I was like 4 or 5. I think it was 5, when most people were like 6 or 7. They're supposed to meet me in front of the school. They didn't meet me in front of the school. So I had no idea how to walk to my babysitter's house. So my first grade teacher had to call my mom. It's this big old deal. And ever since then, I'm like, when you go into a new situation, you have to be perfect. You have to know exactly what. And I'm like, that is so much pressure to have put on a 5-year-old. I needed to heal. And there was a lot of grief behind it. Look at all the grief that I caused myself years forward. So take that time to heal that inner child. Grief is the process of allowing the tears to let go so you can bring in new things. This is all about transformation and letting go. So you can arrive in this Virgo season as a new and improved you, Capricorn. So there you go. All right, Aquarius. Let's talk to you. Aquarius. And thank you so much for joining me again this month, Johnny, and joining me tonight.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you.
So the song is, when I'm standing next to a mountain, I chop it down with the edge of my hand. And then I have the Ace of Swords and the Death card. Your victory is at hand. Obstacles are not supposed to be permanent. Either you find a way to go up, down, in, out, over, under, whatever the case may be. Beware at chipping away at things because they are burying your feet. So make sure whatever it is, the change is coming. Just keep going like Capricorn. There's something you're working for, and you're trying to get there. You're almost there, but just make sure that you are not being dissuaded, that you're not being put off by the size of your obstacles. You have the power to overcome them. You have overcome worse. So keep going. Encouragement.
Yeah. Because the revolution will not be televised, I'm telling you. Do for you. Sometimes things come to disrupt, to bring in new, is what I heard from what Johnny said. There's not all obstacles are permanent. They're not supposed to be permanent. They're supposed to be a metamorphosis that comes. Part of that metamorphosis is to bring you closer to spirit, divine love. There is nothing like a good old challenge that makes you realize where your spirituality really is. I'm willing to bet every atheist, okay, not every atheist, a lot of atheists right before they die, that moment of their life flashed before my eyes. I'm willing to bet they say, oh God, even though they don't believe in it, right? Don't let this be your oh God moment. Come to divine, come to spirit. Know that spirit loves you. Spirit is always with you, because what spirit's also trying to do, like Johnny said, that obstacle is here to help align you with your life purpose, throat chakra. Throat chakra is all about speaking and listening to divine truth. Notice I've got the divine love next to the divine truth card, life purpose. So what do you need to do? What conversations do you have to have with spirit after whatever that obstacle is, or while you're going through that obstacle, to help put you closer to spirit and closer to your life purpose? Not all obstacles are permanent. They're not supposed to be permanent. They're supposed to be there to help present to you some options and where you need to realign and refocus. Aquarius.
I got that clarity. Sometimes that's the thing you need.
Clarity. That's so beautiful. Bringing in that with that throat chakra, bringing in that life purpose. What are you supposed to be doing? Is this the moment or a stream of moments that helps you get closer to what you're supposed to be? What contract did you sign to come here to be? Let's do. So there you have it, Aquarius. Let's talk about Pisces next. My capricious Pisces.
Well, wait a minute now. Everything can't fall out.
Uh-oh. One card. Not all cards.
Calm down, Pisces.
Pisces is like, that's so Pisces energy too. Give me everything. I want to know everything that's going on.
Focus. Yes, you've been through I guess the theme is endurance. This is the theme this month. It seems Knight of Pentacles. This is methodical, so you have to have a strategy about this. There are some things that you are approaching that measure twice and cut once. That way you get it right. First time, every time. The song is Tumble Down, I Set a New Ground for Jack and Jill. Sometimes you have to go and be the example that other people need to follow. Sometimes you need to be the reliable one. Sometimes you need to be, like I said, the one that they are following. So it may be a little harder for you. It may be harder for you than other people. Don't get to looking around. That's why they put the blinders on the horse. That way they're not focused on other ones, and then they get distracted. Do what you need to do for you. And it may be a little harder, but you're going to be stronger because of it.
Mm-hmm. Can I get an amen from the oracle? Determination. Solar plexus chakra is all about your internal fire, your internal flame. Johnny just said, keep those blinders on and focus on you, boo-boo. There's some solar plexus work you need to do. You need to be determined to heal you, Pisces. Not everybody else can help you right now. You have to be determined to help yourself. Your solar plexus is internal, your personal fire, not Johnny's fire, not Adrian's fire, not your mama's fire. It is you and how you show up and your courage right now. Okay? Know that slow and steady, and you can do this. You've got the courage to use your determination. You're like Johnny said, perseverance is the key for this month.
Keep on pushing.
We've done 3 readings, and they're all about keep on pushing, keep on humping. Don't worry about boo-boo and nothing. Joe Rogan them, focus on you. You'll be fine.
This is the month of endurance, apparently. Well, I mean, yeah, we are changing the seasons, changing everything else too. So
changing everything. The leaves are getting ready to fall. This is the last part of summer solstice. This is time to start to get ready for pre-hibernation as we end summer and start to go into fall. So time to work on ourselves, get our minds right, get our bodies right. Thank you so much, Jody, for the super chat. May that generosity be returned to you tenfold, or may that go towards the bowl that I've been paying off. Actually, it's going to go right back to you in about a couple days towards my bowl. But thank you so much, Jody, for the generosity. All right, Aries, we are on to you.
So cards fell out and I'm going to keep them.
Okay.
The lyric is, let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. And then I get the devil and the empress with the 8 of cups. There is a bit of innocence. There is a bit of joy. There is a bit of contentment. There's a bit of happiness that you left behind somewhere. Maybe you traded it for progress in your career. Maybe you traded in progress for your relationships. You traded it in for whatever the case you may have traded it in for. But remember how we used to be when the world was a little easier. That's not to say that we have to become naive and, the rent ain't due on the 1st and the light bill ain't due every month. That stuff still happens whether or not you're going to go frolic and play. But you have to come back to a place to where life is not so heavy. You left the happiness behind to try to exist in this world. You got to come back.
Ground yourself.
Yes.
Absolutely. Come back to it. Don't get too up in here. Don't get too sad. You also probably would benefit on putting the blinders on like the horses do, so you don't get so caught up in the cyclone. You also need to be open. There's creativity in receiving right now for you guys, Aries. Be open to receive messages, guidance, help, anything. Don't be, I know one thing with Aries, which one of the things I love about Aries, y'all are the first one to sorry. Y'all the first ones to show up to a slap fight with a bazooka, ready to fight for righteousness. And I love that so much about Aries. Y'all come and y'all are ready. But the one thing that's hard that I've noticed, at least some of the Aries in my life, is that letting people show up to your slap fight with a bazooka to fight on your behalf. It can't be one-sided. That's part of a heart chakra deficiency. You can't give but not receive. So right now it's saying be open. Receiving is all about being open to allowing things to come to you, because that reciprocity is part of life's journey in that cycle. You also, there's some creativity too. Sacral chakra is all about being creative. So maybe you may even need to find some creative ways to allow people to let down your guard, to allow people things to come to you. So there you go, Aries. Stop showing up to everybody else's slap fight with a bazooka.
Because I get the image after what you just said. Aries is the fire. They are very hot people. Like all the Aries I know, they go from 0 to 1,000,000 in like that. Now, a fire consumes, but it does need something to feed it too in order for it to stay. So, just like she said, you have to also bring in if you want to keep that fire going.
You gotta because it's, and then here's the thing, you're gonna show up to that knife fight with a bazooka, but you ain't got no ammunition in the bazooka, boo-boo. What you gonna blow away? Nobody? You've got to receive. You got to let things come in, come to you. I keep hearing, stop being so guarded. Let your guard down. It is okay. Those who come to help you are not coming to take from you. They're not trying to set you up so they can come take from you later. Some MFs just like helping, just like you do.
Mm-hmm.
Marcy, happy birthday. Tomorrow is Marcy's birthday. Happy birthday to you. Wishing you life, love, and happiness. Taurus. Let's go, Taurus. Y'all are up. I think we're going to get through this in record time if we're already like, here's your 30-minute horoscope reading. Bye, guys.
We're pulling 2 cards, I think. Taurus.
Taurus. Terrific.
I remember a time my balance was fine. I was just walking on one fine wire. Sometimes we do have our blinders on just to get through the storm. But there are times when we make that progress and we get to the other side and we realize we barely survived it. Now, the message in this, in silence, this is where we suffer all of the horrible atrocities of our brain. This is also where we operate when we don't want to ask for help. Mm-hmm. So you don't have to walk this fine wire by yourself. The Chariot card is a card of opposites. They face east and west, black and whites. They're not moving. If you can get all of this on the same page, this is unstoppable. But it is very hard to do that because you don't have a plan. Or the plan you have is, I'm going to do it myself because can't nobody do it but me, or I'm going to do it myself because I don't want to ask. So if you want to keep walking that fine wire, you're going to wear yourself out. I guarantee you. So ask for help. Get out of the silence and let somebody help you.
Because that help, your body is screaming for balance right now. Your life is screaming for balance right now. You cannot do it on your own. It is not a sign of weakness if you ask for help. Actually, my dad has always taught me that he who masters life is the one who has mastered balance. Look at this as asking for help as a way to balance and find that mastery of your life. Okay. Thank you so much, Blue Mountain Tarot, for the super chat. May that generosity be returned to you tenfold. Because one of the things that balance is going to do is there's some energy that you need to clear. You got to clear it. It's going to build up on you like a bad case of eating a lot of Basque soup. Okay? That's filled with all the yummy pinto beans and cabbage.
Good old cabbage cramps.
Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to yourself. Find that balance. I thought Blue Mountain Tarot, I thought it said you're crappy reading.
I did. I'm like, she's awful complimenting and insulting at the same time. Like, I didn't do it. Who? I didn't do it.
Lord Jesus, I just spit that stuff out. I'm sorry. I didn't mean. I was trying to play it cool and deliver the message. And I was like, I wish you could see what's going through my head. I was like, God, it was crappy. What did we say? How was it crappy and perfect at the same time?
I was trying to tell myself, read it twice. Because you read it wrong the first time. Always. Whatever it is.
My whole energy was thrown off. And I was like, I'm trying not to look at both screens. And I was like, bump it. Oh, Cappy as in Capricorn. Oh, phew. The last thing I want to do is give somebody a bad reading. I was really my emotions on that. I felt like a horrible person. Okay. Glad it helped. Okay. Taurus. We're talking about, okay. So sorry. And thank you, Pam, for the super chat. May that generosity be returned to you tenfold as well. You got to find balance, because really balance is going to be the key to clearing out that backed up, stored up energy that needs to be replenished, recycled, and let's say breathed, whatever, back into your energy sphere. So that's what you need, Taurus.
Because I will say this, as everybody is getting the, put your head down and push forward, there is a downside to that for some, that you are starting to build up stuff because you won't stop. You won't stop and smell the roses, as I said earlier. And then you can't clear out. You got a bunch of gunked up energy. You have to get the Drano and balance your life again.
You have to.
Get yourself together.
I also want to say something too. I just heard this when you just said that, Johnny. Some of us, only response that we know is to hunker down and go, because that is a trauma response. We are so adapted and have adapted to trauma response where, you know what, if I'm going, Winston Churchill said, if you're going through hell, just keep going. I want to tell Winston Churchill, once you get through the hell, I want you to stop. I want you to reflect. I want you to sit with the emotions that you gathered while going through the hell, embrace them, and then let them go. Sometimes just going through is some people's way of not addressing the problem. Know the difference between going through hell, because you just got to go through it and get through it to get to the other side, and purposely, I'm going to just keep going and going and going so I don't have to deal with what's in front of me. Like Johnny was saying earlier, sometimes you need to take the blinders off.
Because when you're going through hell and you finally make it to the other side, you still smell like smoke. You got to clear that off too.
Yeah.
Let it go. Leave it back there.
You got to, guys. Gemini, Johnny, you up, boo boo kitty?
Right. Don't start no mess, spirit.
If you do not start none, there will be none.
See, we started already.
Anybody else in the chat remember that trap? I think it was trap. I don't think that's the right genre. Back in the day, don't start no, there won't be no. Don't start no, there won't be no. Hey, if you let it down, if you don't give it down, we don't give it. Hey, okay, I'm sorry. Sorry, that song was out when I was in college.
So, 3 of Swords, betrayal. And the lyric is, today is where your book begins. The rest is still unwritten. Whoever this was, whatever kind of danger and obstacle and harmful intention, whatever kind of heartbreak, betrayal, stab in the chest, side of the chest, back of the chest, wherever it is, whatever it is that has happened, it's over. It happened, yes. It is, cliche to say leave the past in the past, but the past affects what you're doing right now because sometimes it lingers. But the thing you have to understand is it's still over. Move on. Today is where your book begins. The rest is still unwritten. How do you respond to this? Do you let it control you? Do you let it take your future away from you, and now all you can do is respond to your future situations by this one, by the parameters of the crap that has happened? Or do you say, you know what, let's write a new chapter. Today is where my book begins. What are you gonna do?
So I'm not gonna lie, I missed your entire reading because my internet was off.
Because I see you froze.
And I was very quickly trying to switch to my phone to use my phone. And my phone has like no charge. So I was trying to like very stealthy trying to like the internet. Turn on the phone. Turn on the hotspot. Put the phone back on the charger. Listen to Johnny. Act like nothing's going wrong and just keep smiling. Sorry, I did not hear a daggone word you say. Recap,
Step out
please.
on faith.
Step out on faith. Okay. Step out on faith. Step out on faith. Yes, absolutely. Because when you step out in faith, what you're doing is also working with spirit to build your intuition as well. Stepping out on faith and saying, Spirit, I trust you, is it how spirit sometimes rewards that is pouring back into the cup of intuition. That's not surprising. It's so funny how I ended up getting a third eye chakra card without pulling a third eye chakra card, and then getting a solar plexus chakra card. And y'all always know I sound like a broken record. When one's off, the other one's off. So these work together. Also, too, universal light. Step out on faith. When you step out on faith, this is kind of really, in essence, what happens. I now trust spirit, and I now trust that when time is right, I will be able to act accordingly. That is intuition. Also, being able to act accordingly is universal light. It helps to build your solar plexus chakra. See how they just match up nicely? Yay! So think about that. That's what you need to be focused on this month, Gemini. Jason, Johnny, hope that resonates.
It does. Now, am I going to do it? That's a whole nother thing. I need an oracle that says a hard head makes a soft hand. That's what
that was Mary Coleman's. She used to tell me that all the time. She would be like, because to me that was like pre-day F around and find out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was pre-F around and find out. The hard head.
That was the church version. Not when you can say church.
Cancers, let's talk to you about you. Let's go, Cancers.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Debbie, for the super chat. May that generosity return to you immediately. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Cancer, they can only take from you what you are willing to give.
All day.
The lyrical is, these flaws I got. They are part of who I am. Take me or not. But it ain't worth it if I got a counterpunch. They can only take from you what you allow them to take from you. Sometimes people do not want you to be who you are. They want you to be what fits them. Therefore, they'll take your identity. Sometimes they don't want you to go and hang out with certain people because they get jealous and they want your attention, blah, blah, blah. So then they take your relationships. They can only take from you what you allow them to take from you. Don't fall for the okie doke.
No, don't.
Think about yourself right now.
Yep. What I'm hearing too is I'm hearing Cat Williams say it's called self-esteem. How can somebody mess with how you feel about you, right? Nothing can be taken from me that you do not allow to be taken. Okay, this is all about this soul healing that you need to do right now with your solar plexus chakra. Think about it. The best way to reclaim power is to not give it away. They cannot take what is not to be taken unless you give it away. Solar plexus chakra, soul healing. With that soul healing also needs to come some love on yourself, universal love. This love card is more about self-love. If you love yourself truly as a sentient being, the way sentient beings are supposed to love themselves, can't nobody take away from you, boo-boo, because you're not going to let them, because you love yourself enough to know that you can't take what I'm not going to give you, because I love myself too much. That's why I am not in a busted down, broken down relationship with anybody right now anyway, because I'm like, you know what? Well, then I just don't like people in my house. But
because they take away from your peace. They take away from that piece of your solitude. It's like, if I want to mingle with people, I know how to do that. But when I'm in my little fortress of solitude, There is no Superman. It is just me.
I want to add something to what you said earlier about something that can't be taken away unless you give it. And with love. And I'm feeling and hearing heart chakra right now. Some people look at some people like they're crazy when, oh, I'm going to help someone. I was thinking about a conversation I had with a coworker who she was telling me she did something for someone, even though she knew it wasn't going to help her immediately. And I said, and my response was, I don't think of it that way. I think of it as you cannot take from me what I didn't give you. I gave you love because I knew there was nothing else you're going to be able to take from me. So don't be afraid to do for others, because just know that what you're giving out, you don't have to be stingy about it, because nobody's going to come and take extra. You're not going to give a foot and then they're going to take 18 miles. That's just not going to happen. Because you have to allow that to happen. So really you need to ask yourself, what is it in me and about me that's going to allow them to take the mile when I've given them a half of a foot? Nothing can be taken from you that you don't give. And just remember that. Let that be in your spirit, in your mind. So then, therefore, you won't be afraid to love. You won't be afraid to give. Because you know nobody's going to take from you what you didn't put out. You didn't. After Cancer, I believe, is Leo. Is it?
Leo the lion.
Happy belated birthday to the Leos. That was on y'all last month.
I'm on the court card. Okay, I'll take that. I mean, if we just want to be rude, then fine. Leo, figure it out. Okay? Piss or get off the pot, as they say. The lyric is, the future is no place to place your better days. The future is not here. And as far as you're concerned, it's not going to get here. That's not where the better days are supposed to be. Basically, the future is no place to place the time where you're going to get up on your own 2 feet, where you're going to take charge over your life, where you're going to progress, where you're going to do this or that. There's a bunch of chaos, confusion, erratic behavior, hectic business. Okay, talk to your higher self, talk to your spirit, talk to your neighbor. Maybe somebody, maybe State Farm is there. Maybe they know something that you need to know. Use your resources. Figure it out. Pros and cons list. Life is hard right now because you're kind of making it that way. You got a bunch of stuff around you can pull from. Start to do that. Stop worrying about the future. As Adrian says, that builds anxiety. That's because what is going to happen when? Don't worry about that right now. There you go.
These cards don't tell a story together, so I'm just going to have to give you. Normally I can find don't mesh together. So apparently Spirit needs to give you 3 different lessons tonight, Leo. So first one, like Johnny said, don't be in the future. That creates anxiety. Don't be in the past. That creates depression. Be present. Be right now. Crown chakra. Be present. Okay. Because there's an action you need to take with right action. Right action is doing what is not to other people's moral code, your moral code. What is the right action for you? How your DNA, how your thoughts, how your everything is set up for you. You cannot make that action unless you are present, because you're going to miss everything. You're going to be too in the future with anxiety. And you're going to be too in the past trying to do something from a place of depression, so you don't, that whole FOMO thing, right? No. Right action right now. Be present, okay? Also, I don't know what this is intended for, but let's go ahead and talk about this heart chakra with forgiveness right now. So let's just go ahead and say, forgive others. I forgive, what is it? I forgive the trespassing. So others who trespass against me, whatever the prayer is in the Lord's Prayer. My brain right now just does not want
forgive
that.
Those who trespass against me. and my trespasses against others.
Thank you, Deacon. So let this be both ways right now. There's something that needs to heal, and healing, the first step of healing is forgiveness. This should make sense to you. That's what I just heard from Spirit. Adrian, stop trying to make sense of it. Just be the conduit to give the message. So forgiveness, making that right action, that is for your moral code and nobody else's. And be present. There you go, Leo.
Can I say something as well?
Mm-hmm.
These readings, because as that prompted me, what you were just saying, that this is for somebody, then more than likely is, because that's how spirit works. Somebody even watching later, that'll be like, yep, that was me. These are still all zodiac readings on YouTube and the ones you buy out the grocery store, them little tubes or the back of a magazine. They are generalizations. Don't feel like somebody's picking on you.
Exactly.
A hit dog will holler. So if it tugged at the heartstring, that means somebody was talking to you. We are just the conduits. We're picking up the cards. As I always say, I didn't make it up. Look it up. If this is what it says, this is what it means. If it meant something to you, take it. If it hurt your feelings, take that too, because it meant something.
And I cannot tell you how many messages I've had to me privately after we do this every month that said, even though I am not a Capricorn, it is not in my rising, my falling, my next door, or my front door, that message resonated with me. Because, and then they'll tell the story. So, like Johnny just said, these messages are generalizations. It's here to help. It's here to give you a word. It's here to give you comfort. Even if we give you some news that's not good, to quote hymns, forearmed is forewarned. Yeah, that's right. How you say it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So take it with a grain of salt. It's for entertainment. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Virgo, it's your birthday. It's kind of my birthday too, since I got some Virgo in my next door, up, down, rising. So happy birthday to you, Virgos. May you be healthy, well, and righteous this month.
This feels like a prediction and not an oracle message. Okay. These aren't cooperating, so just you go back in the box if that's it. The lyric, if you learn the secret, how to forgive, a longer and a better life you'll live. And then there's the moon. Something's not working out for you this month. Something is hit a wall. Something is, it seems like it's rotating. Like you start and then stop and have to start over and then start. So it's something is going in a loop, and that is because you have some unfinished emotional business. Okay. Sidebar. I've said this before, and I'm going to say this again, especially since we're here on this here channel. I used to always think that meditations and chakras and stuff were for people who have hairy underarms and go home and, they smell like the nature. That's what I used to think, that these were earth people. That's not really my vibe, right? But energy is everywhere because energy is everything. And so when you have some sort of emotional anchor, something is tying you down. Something is not going to be clear. It's not going to be complete, but you have to look inside. The little towers on the moon is your conscious and your subconscious and unconscious. So these are the parts of your brain that you can't really control, but they're still operating, they're still moving, and you need to investigate what it is that they're doing, what little signal is firing between the two. Between the two is the yods. The yods in the tarot is representative of God. So there is some emotional baggage. There's some emotional anchor. If you learn the secret, how to forgive, a longer and a better life you'll live. Maybe you need to do some forgiving, either of other people, of yourself, but
or situations.
Yes, because something is stopping you, and I think it is that.
Because let me tell you, that spoke to me personally. When you were like, it's on repeat, let's keep going. I was like, show is. Feels like Groundhog's Day. And I can't seem to get out of this. Why is it, Lord? Tell me, Johnny, why is it? And I'm like, oh, hell, that is absolutely because I am not forgiving a situation.
Mm-hmm.
I have forgiven the people. I have forgiven myself, not the situation.
That's me all day.
I'm going to continue to play, because I always say you're going to continue to play it out until you've healed from it. And you're going to stay stuck, like you said, that energy is going to stay trapped there until you heal from it. I need to forgive the situation. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I may have to have Becca or you, Johnny, or Jody, all these healers in this chat, help me. Very good message. Thank you, Johnny. Virgo, you got a lot of good yumminess that you need to tap into this month. Inner power, inner flame, universal light, and inner power. Nobody, like, I think we set this for Cancer or Pisces. Can't nobody take something away from you that you did not give. So be prepared this month. This is, thank you, it was Cancer. This is a month that you're going to test your inner strength, but also you're going to find, inner strength as well. So know that your birthday gift for the month is a lot of solar plexus fire that's going to be bestowed upon you in inner strength and inner power and universal light. I want that for my birthday. Birthday gifts. The gift of growing older and walking in power is amazing. So happy birthday to you.
And if you need some solar plexus help, go to redlentilhealing.com and get yourself some solar plexus help.
Solar plexus. My solar plexus was jacked up last week when I was like, I can eat tacos and pizza in the same day and wash it down with ice cream.
Oh, I can't say nothing. I made 4 whole sweet potato pies today.
Ooh, can I have some?
You can have them all. Okay, so here's my problem too. Sidebar. I need to learn, because I don't cook, but I need to learn portions. A sweet potato makes a lot of stuff. So I got 3 and they were like the size of little cats. So it's like I boiled them, and then once I did all the mixing and stuff, I'm like, I ain't got enough pack rest. It's like, anyway, I made 4. One of them happens to be gone already, but I made 4.
It'd be like that.
Nobody ate any but me, but one is still gone.
I wish we could do a swap, because my thing is I love tres leches.
Oh, yeah.
And I've learned a few really good tres leches recipes, like a chocolate one, a strawberry one, and a banana cream tres leches. Who the hell created this delectable? But it's delicious. But it makes a whole sheet cake, and I'm like, my fat ass should not eat an entire sheet cake. We can swap them out and help each other.
Because I need to find somebody to give them some pies. There we go. That's all right. I bought candy corn today too, because fall.
Okay, so you're one of those people who like can you please tell me why what is it about the candy corn that?
Because it's just pure sugar, and I like sugar. Now, mind you, I'm weird. I don't eat the top of it.
I remember you saying that.
Don't ask me why, but I eat the bottom, the yellow, and the orange, and then I throw the white part away. I'm so horrible. It's a starving kid in Africa right now that would love to tell.
I mean, that's better than me. I put the whole thing in the trash, but
I just love candy corn.
It's to me, it tastes like wax that doesn't have flavor.
Yeah, that's kind of like cilantro. It's either you taste one thing or the other. Some people taste all the sugar, or they taste just wax. It feels like a wax candy.
Remember back in the day they had those like little bottle candies. It was wax.
Liquid.
Those little wax things tastes better than candy corn to me.
I used to like them. They weren't worth it because, I mean, you bought it in the entire experience was gone in one little sip. But, oh, Lord, the candy. Yeah, they still have candy cigarettes.
Where?
Oh, God. It was somewhere in Texas.
Well, of course, Texas.
Anyway, it was somewhere in Texas. Where was I? Because we were leaving out of Texas.
I know you can buy them online, like Nostalgia. There's a couple websites I saw, but you have to like put in your driver's license prove you're 18.
It's like the Big Chew that came in pouches that was like snuff. And
it was so juicy, and it would drip out the side of your mouth like snuff. Absolutely. And I just and now when I think of Big Chew, I think of Napoleon Dynamite when he walked into the bathroom. Oh man. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Twizzlers are disgusting. I don't like licorice unless it is gourmet licorice, like it's made to taste like green apple or another flavor. But like the red and that, y'all can miss me with the.
Oh, I like the candy pumpkins too.
Yeah, again, it tastes like mushy wax. All right.
Sorry.
Heavenly Father, please be gentle. All right. Time for Libras.
No free advertising. So.
Look, you know what that looks like? There's a vitamin that the doctor prescribed me a couple weeks ago to help with my ailments and my sickness. Those look exactly like them vitamins that tasted like dog slobber. Exactly. I don't know what dog slobber tastes like. I can just imagine. Anybody who's been up on a dog can smell when you smell their breath. That's probably what dog slobber. When you held up that whole bag, I was like, dog slobber. Like the vitamins the doctor just gave me. Yeah. Pretty much.
I hope my car is turned over.
Dog slobs. Dog slobs. It tastes like. You know. And you did. You trying to hold it up to brag, like, look what I got here. No free advertising. No, sweetie. You're not advertising anybody. Nobody wants to eat dog slobber. No, sweetie. No. And that's not to the company who, no, that's not to y'all's fault. Y'all only make what's in demand. I'm just saying that was not a flex. That was not a flex.
Now, what are we on?
We're on Libra. Dog slob. Dog slob.
I can't even see. What is it?
Wash your dog's bed or your dog's favorite blanket in that stench. That's dog slob.
If you can smell it, you can taste it.
Yep.
You can smell it, you can taste it. So if you don't taste like crap, how do you know what crap tastes like? If you can smell it, you can taste it.
You smell it, you can taste it. All of this is connected.
Libras. Now is the time to get up and move, whether it is exercise, whether it is just take a stroll, whether it is get some fresh air. Now that the season is sort of changing in some places, it was still 97 in Oklahoma. Keep you on the prayer list. But now is the time to go out amongst nature. The lyric is everybody dance now. The card is the tip. Now is the time for action. Now is the time to move. So get out amongst some trees and birds. And if you want to stay away from people, then stay away from people. But go outside, move, get up and move. Everybody dance now.
Because moving too helps release that stagnation.
Mm-hmm.
It helps to
It's flowing.
Because we're also not, it's no coincidence. He said, get creative juices flowing. You get sacral chakra, and also with flexibility. Objects in motion stay in motion. That's just it. So if you get out, if you're wondering why Libras, why we're stuck, why we are having a hard time right now, it's because we need to move. We need to flex some type of muscle. We need to get out and do something. And just remember, objects in motion stay in motion. That's why yogis tend to not have a lot of issues. Like, you don't see, when have you ever heard of yogi say, my rheumatism is flaring up? It's not, because they're constantly in motion. I need you to apply, I need you, Libras, me as well, Libras, we need to apply that to our life right now. Like Johnny said, get up and move. You won't have much to complain about, because that flexibility and that movement is going to continue to feed your life and feed other aspects, okay? So be flexible, get out and move. Like Johnny said, be flexible with things that are coming towards you. Be able to, can't do that if you're rigid. Hard to do if you're rigid, okay? Go with the flow. Also, there's some, I don't know how to say this politely. I have never, there's a couple, I've met very few. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get the words. I'm trying not to be a butthole to my own people, but we need to work on our trust issues, Libra. Because of all the zodiac signs, we really, I can attest to this. We will, in the face, we'll be like, yeah. In our mind, we're like, I wouldn't trust that heifer as far as I can throw her. However, when you do not trust, when we are so guarded, we cannot let other things in. Not everybody is here to put their hand in our pocket. Not everybody is here to shank us. We got to be more trusting. We want everybody to trust us, because we always want to come run through the room like a firefighter and be Captain Save-A-Ho for everybody else. But we will not let anybody else do that for us. Why? Because we have trust issues. So we got to learn to trust. I had a coworker tell me this a decade ago, and I'll never forget it. She says, don't trust man, trust spirit. So if you can't trust others, that's fine. What you need to put that trust is into spirit. So things will be fine. It's going to work out. We've got to stop being so control freaks and just trust. It's going to be okay, Libra. Get outside and walk, as Johnny says, and then trust. Happy birthday, almost, Libras. You done sat back in that chair. That means you had a thought.
The cards fell out. I'm going to keep them. So I already got mine. I don't even know who's next, but it can. Okay, I'm going to keep it.
It's Scorpio. So Jody, don't cuss us out if you don't like what you get for this reading.
Probably me, because I got Scorpio in my summer house, whatever on the wheels. And one summer house or winter house, I don't know. But if you want to make the world a better place, take a look into yourself and make that change. Is the lyric, the Hierophant and the Magician. Your stuff stinks too. Okay. The Hierophant is the holier than thou. The Magician is the know-it-all. So these two cards, along with that, if you want to make the world a better place, remember every time you point at somebody, there's three fingers pointing back at you. So make sure that people who live in glass houses should buy curtains. So sometimes what you need to do is make sure that something in this glass house is a mirror, so that you can see what it is that you need to work on. Sometimes the people around you don't need your opinion. Sometimes the people around you don't need your input. If they ask for it, fine, give it to them the way it is. But there are some messages that are being delivered to you. The Hierophant is the God card, the religion card. The Magician is the conduit between the heaven and earth. So what you need to do right now is listen to your spirit and stop talking. There's a message coming for you that is meant for you, not for the rest of the world.
Mm. That's what it is. Thank you, Jace. That's the song that she quoted to me. It always sticks in my head. I've never forgotten that. Some of the things you need to see, Scorpio, some of the that messages that you need to get, maybe needing to come to you through some type of psychic premonition, some type of third eye chakra. You know what to say to others all the time, but do you know what to say to yourself? Use that psychic energy that you're getting either through dreams or just through that third eye chakra to also help you as well. Because there's something, I'm going to read the message. I rarely do this, but I'm going to read the message on the card, and you get, because you're getting extraordinary. And there's a wild and impetuous uniqueness to you that deserves to be honored. There's something that you need to hear, like Johnny said, there's a message you need to get so you know how to move forward. And I think what I'm hearing is, instead of waiting for others to tell you that you're awesome, you need to kind of tell that to yourself. Because there's some message that you need to give. There's something that you've been going through, or something that you've been doubting. I'm hearing something that you've felt that's been a little off kilter. And you need to hear a message that's going to help you realize that things aren't quite as bad or off kilter that you think they are. There's a message you need to hear, that you need to remind yourself that you're pretty badass. And nobody can do the voodoo that you do, because there is nobody else like you. So there's that. Use your messages to help guide you. All right, Scorpio. Let's talk to Sagittarius. Or Sagittarius. Got a lot of Sagittarius.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So, Sagittarius, you're getting ready to move into a time of slight abundance. I don't want to make it sound like the lottery's coming to you or nothing, but your day-to-day life will start to improve, like little things along the way. Now, there is delays still in the big things, and the reason being, the lyric says, "Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone?" So what we need to focus on right now is gratefulness. You do not have everything you want, but you have more than you had before. So what you need to do now is thank whoever, thank Bank of America if they gave you a loan, whoever you want to thank, that's up to you. But start to thank them for the little things. Thank them for the small things. Because when this delay is over, then your time of treasure will be upon you. But you'll lose it quickly if you don't know how to thank whatever is you want to thank God or whatever for the little things. Be grateful. Your day-to-day life is starting to change. It's starting to change for the better. But be grateful for the little, and then when the lot gets here, you'll know how to appropriate.
Thank you, Carmela and Google Peace, for the super chats. May that generosity be returned to you immediately and tenfold. Sagittarius, you also need to listen and trust. Listening, throat chakra, divine truth, divine wisdom. Things are turning around. Don't doubt it. That abundance is coming. Listen and believe the signs that also accompany this abundance as well. It is not a fluke. It is meant for you. This is all about divine truth and purpose. It's meant for you, not anybody else. This is your season. This is your time to receive whatever abundance that's coming to you. And like Johnny said, when you know that it's coming for you and it's meant for you, it's a lot easier to be grateful. Because when you don't think it's meant for you, you don't appreciate it, because you're like, somebody's gonna come snatch it from me. It's not meant for me. No. This is meant for you. There are signs, list divine truth. So be grateful, relish, enjoy it, because it's meant for you. It's your season. It's your time. It's coming for you, not at you. There you have it. Everybody think this is a record. We got through all 12 in a little over an hour.
An hour. I did a little side talk with all my food business, but
And we talked about cabbage shoots and candy wax.
But the food and the weather are just one of them things that binds all people. So it's a good. There is a 13th sign, Ophiuchus, but I don't know who's Ophiuchus right now. I think Sagittarius and Libras are right now Ophiuchus.
Explain this to me. What is that? Who's Opalaka?
Ophiuchus is the 13th constellation in the sky. Why am I pointing? 13th constellation in the sky that the sun passes through.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you are Sylvia, I need you to pay attention. It's right here. If you are Libra and Sagittarius, I think you are currently Ophiuchus because of I don't know astrology, like the sun was in Ophiuchus when you were born or something. It shifts too. So it's not stationary, it shifts. And so 2 other signs are going to be Ophiuchus in about 10 years or whatever the case may be. But Ophiuchus is the 13th constellation in the night sky.
I just met Opalaka. Had never heard about it. And you learn something new every day.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that. Thank you for the education, sir. I appreciate it. All right. I know we're supposed to start with housekeeping. Let's end with housekeeping. Johnny, I know you're going live tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern time.
Yes,
with Joyce.
With Joyce, I'll be live at 3 p.m. Eastern. And then Sunday, we will be live at the regular time. At somebody's channel. It's not mine. So, I think it's Becca's channel.
I think it's Becca's channel.
Lena is going to join us tomorrow or Sunday.
Okay, so guys, make sure you go check out Johnny, Becca, Jen, and Lena Sunday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern on Becca's channel. I ain't got no housekeeping because I ain't been on here in like 8 years. So pretty sure I'll start up videos again at some point once I'm 100%. Right now I'm at like 80. But thank you guys for joining us tonight. I really appreciate it, Johnny.
When is Tony going live? Is Tony going live at some point?
We're joining Tony Tuesday, but she didn't tell us the time, or maybe she did tell us the time, and I didn't.
I think she said it was later because she was trying to get. I don't know. It's later. She'll put something on her thing. I'm pretty sure. Then we'll tell you too. I won't give out bad information.
Yeah. Really good political questions, earth questions. Because I did read the questions. I just didn't see what time we were going live. I just know it's Tuesday. So join us, Johnny, Tony, and I, but we'll be on Tony Shining Hawk Healing's channel. Okay. Guys, thank you so much to everybody who super chatted. Thank you to everybody who joined us. Thank you to everybody who's going to watch this later. I appreciate you joining us tonight, and we will see you later. Have a good night. Bye, guys.